The Switch is remarkable and underwhelming all at the same time. Let me explain. The Switch was fresh and new and impressive back in 2017. The allure of playing console quality games on the go and keeping that same session going on the big screen when you got home seemed too good to be true. We got the biggest, most open Zelda, a unique fighter, and a sequel to their similarly unique shooter, Splatoon. Things only went up from there. It was genuinely impressive to see all these grand experiences, and there truly seemed to be something for everyone. Unfortunately, it didn't take long for the illusion to start to fade. With releases like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Doom came extremely low resolutions, lower graphical fidelity, and even lower frame rates. In the case of Doom, it's an amazing port. It's incredibly impressive. On one hand, Doom 2016 in its entirety, in handheld form, and on a Nintendo system at that, it'll be like playing the PS4 version at home with a few downgrades, but on the go, and I get to continue seamlessly when I get home, you must be thinking. But then you get the game and bam, right off the bat the frame rate is sliced in half. Well, at least it's a crisp 1080p and a solid 30 frames, you might be thinking. I bet it won't look that much worse than the other versions. Well, you're wrong again. Doom runs below HD, not below full HD or 1080p, but below HD as in below 720p. This is docked, people. But the frame rate, Randy, right? That must be the saving grace. Unfortunately not, my enthusiastic viewer. It doesn't hold a smooth 30, and before you ask, the fidelity is lower than the lowest settings on PC. One of these sacrifices is reasonable. Two is a bit far, but all three leads to an experience that isn't just worse, but not recommendable if you have any other way to play the game. And yes, it is impressive for the Switch. And that's the problem. If impressive for the Switch chalks up to be an experience that's worse in every conceivable way, but it's handheld now, is that really a good thing? The Switch was new at the time, and Doom is a huge game, and the techniques to juice the Switch to its fullest potential may not have been known yet. But here in 2020, the honeymoon phase is gone. Every game that gets ported to Switch or gets a Switch version is a marginally worse experience on the Switch. There's always a catch. It's good, but the frame rate. It's good, but the graphics. It's good, but the resolution. It's good except for docked mode. It's good except for handheld mode. It's ridiculous. Do you see what I'm saying? There was hope in 2019 for a Switch Pro, but what we got instead was a Switch Lite, which is a smaller, non-dockable Switch. I'm getting some Wii Mini vibes here. The Switch Lite is cool and all, but it doesn't solve the power problems. If a game has an inferior handheld mode, you're forced to play nothing but that mode on Switch Lite. There was also a remodeled Switch that comes in a red box. Both this and the Switch Lite do have longer battery, the red box Switch having the longest, but nothing else outside of that has been changed. They even keep the same drift susceptible analog sticks. Enough on that. Time for some first-party examples. Almost no first-party games have anti-aliasing. Breath of the Wild is a native resolution docked. Mario Odyssey is a native resolution and has an aggressive dynamic resolution. Pokemon Sword and Shield look pretty bad. Mario Maker 2 can't be native resolution when using the 3D World style. Yoshi's Crafted World is very low resolution. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is far below resolution in handheld. Hyrule Warriors frame rate is bad, and in handheld it is dang near unplayable. You got Daemon X Machina, Dragon Quest Builders 2. I can go all day. While almost all of those games are amazing, like the game itself, pretty dang good, high quality, they're held back by the hardware they're on, the Switch, in some way. The worst part is, these games are Switch exclusives. If anybody can use the Switch to its maximum abilities, it's Nintendo. Some of these games are stuck on Switch, meaning it's either play this version held back by the hardware or don't play it at all. My last reason is that some games just literally cannot be on Switch. No matter how downscaled or how good a port job is done, the Switch is just unable to run some games. It's so weak that some developers have literally expressed they wanted to do ports, but it just wasn't possible, and others are saying the Switch isn't even a part of the conversation. This is why so many people are foaming at the mouth for a Switch Pro, including me. We love the Switch and its games, the whole experience is great, but we don't want to be left behind later this year when the PS5 and Xbox Series X comes out and every game is so grand that we can't get it on our Switch. Because when that happens, the gap will become too wide, and much like the Wii U, all we'll get is first-party games, indie games, and the little simpler games. And as a proud owner of a Nintendo Switch, all I want is for it to succeed.